Hey, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of what? The Melanin Playbook.
Hey, hey,
Oh, I
hey,
was going to
hey.
say smoke break. Hey, good evening, good morning,
What's going on?
whatever time zone you're in. Hello.
Yeah, so we are still celebrating the release of talking about just the most amazing series to hit the planet, Insecure. We're still celebrating with Issa Rae this week. So we're gonna still, give our topic over to a little insecure thing going on. So the title of today's episode is The Expectations versus Realities, Admitting the Truth. And we actually started a conversation off before we got on here with somebody having some expectations of receiving a certain thing without payment. So,
That ain't
sometimes
reality, baby.
that is not. Sometimes those expectations will get you caught up in situations where admitting the truth is the only way to get you out of it. So,
Yeah.
But that's all perception. So my reality can be one way, but the way you perceive it is something different. So like, how can you really determine what the reality is? Because I mean, my
Right.
reality is something different.
Everybody brain work differently.
you're
Exactly.
right. You're right. And I
So
mean, and if we're tying it in and a drop in, I think Issa's and Lawrence like perception of things starting out in the series was completely different. I think Lawrence was under the expectation that Issa was cool with being the working head in the house and doing everything, and Issa was like, "No." The reality of it was no.
okay. Yeah, she wasn't feeling that on that season. I don't think it was really like well, I guess you could kind of say it was expectation. It was more so he got comfortable.
Yeah,
So yeah,
and we
like
all get comfortable. We
yeah,
all do.
we do.
That's the major
And you
part.
lose reality. So yeah.
When you're
Yeah.
comfortable, you be like, oh, yeah, I got this. And
Mhm.
it's like you making a fairy tale of what it should be in your head. And
Okay.
so when reality hit you, you be all mad, like, oh, but it was this way the whole time. You were just ignoring it.
Okay.
Definitely, because it's almost like you're in fantasy land. Anytime we think of try to conjure up something, we're in fantasy land with it, and we're in our minds. We're like, "Oh, it's perfect. It's flawless. It's the best thing ever." And then reality sets in,
It's
and
because
it's
you're in the picture. Like it's hard for you to see it when you're in it. So unless you really just like have a reality check, I guess you could say, and really pull yourself out and look at the facts opposed to, your feelings.
right.
And I think that's what Issa did when it came to, I would say, that first episode of this season. Like
Yeah,
she kind of, and I think both of them kind of felt it. Like, okay, the fact is,
I'm taking my sip, y'all.
the fact is, we really shouldn't, you know, even though it may feel good, it's comfortable, I know it, but the fact is, mm-mm.
So I have a surprise for you guys because this is the part of the series that sparked a lot of people to almost want to go through and burn some people houses and crap. But we're gonna play this clip in surprise and see how you guys thought about this moment in Insecure.
Issa, Issa, hold up.
Yup.
I'm really sorry you saw that. That wasn't meant for you.
Yeah, no shit.
Okay, but that's the way I've been feeling. And this whole thing feels so forced.
I was trying to get us back to where we were, but I didn't realize it was so hard for you to be around me. And you say you're trying, but it feels like I'm the only one who's putting in any effort.
By inviting me to brunch and playing old drinking games, girl, we haven't even talked about what's really going on.
Because I didn't know you wanted to talk about it. But okay, let's talk about the block party then.
This is bigger than that. We have been off for months.
Yeah, I know. That's why I reached out. But I can't be the only one who wants to make this work, Molly.
I don't know, maybe who you are now and who I am now just don't fit anymore.
Hmm. Key moment, was it not?
Yeah.
A big reality check, baby.
that was especially when she came back with okay. I don't think Molly was anticipating that okay behind that dramatic thing that she gave. That was one of the expectations versus reality checks.
Well, Issa had
Probably
high
because Molly is
expectations.
used to people running up behind her. So she used to Issa, I would say, running up behind her. So of course you're not gonna expect it. You expected her to not grovel at your feet, but like, please no, like why? Type
And she
conversation.
didn't.
I can't be the only one to do it, Molly.
Right. And she probably, I mean, I feel like in looking at that, Issa got her bubble buzz because her expectations, um, of their friendship was a lot higher than what Molly was, taking it as. Like Issa was
Definitely.
trying, like, look, nah, I ain't got time. Like pretty much saying I ain't got time for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it was just that. I think it was I'm getting my stuff together and my best friend, who I would think would be surrounding me with all the positivity, is who's making me feel bad about my success at the moment. I think the expectation was she wanted the support from Molly. And the reality was Molly wasn't here for it.
Molly was caught up. I think just we had that conversation before when it came to that whole break. It's because Issa was literally pulling away from Molly as far as like being a standalone. It was kind of like throughout the whole, what is it, first and second season, like she was literally her shadow. Like she was, she wasn't, I wouldn't say she was her shadow, but she was like, she wasn't doing as much as Molly was doing. So she really started becoming an individual, started, doing her own thing or what have you. So that could be hard to take when you so used to your friend not. And that's what you kind of prey off of. So yeah, it made her probably a little uncomfortable. So she like, well,
Gotcha.
shoot, maybe we not in the same place. Nah, y'all can grow, but you didn't expect that. You
You
wouldn't
didn't expect it.
do that.
So I'm gonna say what moment, this is just us talking. So what moment in the series did you have an expectation and then the reality turned out differently?
I would say, cause you know how I love me some Nathan. I don't know what it is. I really thought they was gonna do something. Like my expectation was kind of high for him. So I would say it's with them as well as her and Daniel. I kind of thought, it would be a little bit more there with her and Daniel
I was just
based
about to
on
say
their
that too.
history.
Yeah, I would say with her and my expectation for how they did her and Daniel was very high. I was like, you know what, Lawrence, you can go by. I'm enjoying this interaction between them two.
That man fine.
And bruh, I'm shut up.
That man is fine.
Who,
Ooh.
Daniel?
Wyland
Yes.
Noel is his real name. He is, yeah,
Hey.
he is body goals. But and he was the only one that pulled off let me shut up. Anyway,
Yeah, that sex scene,
mm,
baby.
the intro to season 3 had me clenching my pearls. But
I'm like, is y'all really doing this? And if so, like, I would have been like, can we do another take? I don't think I, did everything I needed.
I'll take
That,
a drink on that one. But I did. I watched the beginning of season 3 like 15 times. But I'm gonna say I didn't like the way the expectation of it, of what he was going to be to her, and then the way they dismissed it out was very dissatisfying. It was like, God, like y'all took his character in one episode and just ruined the whole imagination of Daniel.
I mean,
Like,
it was real though. It was very relatable. Like I could
yeah.
see how that, because if they would have kept it going, it would have been like a fantasy.
But
It
what
would
I
have
was
been
mad
real at
with
all.
is they made it look like it was him, and it wasn't really him. You got to think about it. Like, Issa, you keep coming back to me. You know I got feelings for you.
True.
and you keep coming to me and you keep wanting me to take care of you and you keep wanting me to do your manly things, and then the moment I make the move, it's no, 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 no. So yeah, I can see his frustration. Like
But Daniel, I mean, Daniel, you know that's the type of relationship y'all have. So I mean, not trying to be devil's advocate, but I mean, come on now. That's
yeah.
what you know. Like you already know that's how she give it up. So why are you feeling some type of way?
She's a player now.
Like,
I
like
I
if
know,
you
I
know,
know
like
she's a
that's just like in your
player.
personal life or whatever. If you
The
know
expect
that that's how you give it up, like you, that's the expectation. You
Yeah,
should
and
already
well,
know.
not y'all say that Issa had expectations of being in a relationship like in her mind, but the
Yeah.
reality of it when it started happening, then she started locking up and shutting down and getting missing, or you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's because it wasn't Lawrence. I mean, to be
Yeah,
honest,
and I've been there
she
too.
never got over Lawrence, and I feel like it wasn't. Sometimes we branch out into the world with the expectation that things are going to turn out a certain way or be a certain way or be on this level of excellence that
True.
we don't acknowledge the possible failures, the possible, low points that comes with it. And I mean, that would be the same as Issa walking out of "We Got Y'all," and then you became a Lyft driver.
Okay.
And I think in our personalized as cast members, I'm pretty sure we've done the same thing. We thought, left out to think that something was going to be easier, and you get here and it's like, no. Like, I moved from Mississippi to come here, and I was like, hey, let me find an easier project. And it was like, I come here and it's like, no, it's not any easier, but it's in a different way of not being easy,
Yeah.
because I tried to set up things and be different here. And now I'm a person that's constructing a business and working at a business and trying to set goals for the future, and then trying to build a family and do things. It's a lot of work at play. Where in Mississippi, I was cool sitting on the couch drinking Smirnoff and being cool.
Because
Yeah.
you had more expectations coming here that you had to
Yeah,
face the reality of,
yeah.
True.
because you
So
changed your environment, and when you change your environment, you got to change the way you move.
definitely,
True.
you change it all up. It's kind of like you admit things to yourself, and that's why the episode was titled "Expectations versus Reality: Admitting the Truth." You can only let go of the expectations when you acknowledge the truth at hand. If you don't
Yeah.
True.
acknowledge it, you can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and I think honestly, that's we're in season 5 of Insecure. Look, I said like we produced it. We're in season 5 of Insecure, and to see Tiffany be a mother, you know what I mean? The expectations of motherhood was not what she thought it
Okay.
was gonna be. It was like she locked herself up in a hotel at the end of season 4, and now
And
you
that
see her right, and you see her now. She can't wait to get back to her baby.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's
true.
different. And I think in this season, one thing we'll see expectations versus reality. Kelly, I think we are so used to Kelly being the fun crack joke person, and we already see in episode 1 she's like, "It's more to me, and I'm
Right.
tired of y'all taking me for a joke."
We finally get to see layers.
Yes, I hate it's the final season to see them, because they did the same thing with Tiffany. We didn't see layers of Tiffany until last season.
Yeah.
So you pull
Yep.
that up. Y'all hear
The wine.
that? The wind down.
The wind down.
But go ahead and toss out eyes. I know you got something in that noggin. I can see that
I
smile.
feel like, you know, admitting the truth is like, for a lot of people, I know for me personally, it is very extremely uncomfortable to do it outside of myself. Like I can do it within just speaking to myself, but if I'm like trying to have a conversation with someone else, like Issa was trying to have conversations with Molly, and like having those conversations is very uncomfortable,
Yeah,
and it it puts you. in a space where you are probably like, okay, I'm vulnerable. This shit can go left. Like I can literally say something and like my whole like my image that I give off to other people can change because you admitting certain things, especially when they have certain expectations of you, how you maneuver, you're not the open vocal one and shit like that. And then you come
AKA
up and
Issa
say that.
at the panel.
Yeah, and you come out and say that, it just makes you so like it's a weird ass fucking feeling. And like a lot of people don't like to take it there. So you will go your whole life with just, you know, not admitting nothing, just living in whatever fantasy world you've created because it's comfortable. So, that in itself, I applaud her for doing that, speaking out
Yeah,
on her truth. And
telling the
just,
truth.
yeah, like that shit hard. Like, it's real hard to actually sit there and have that conversation.
And in front of people.
Yeah.
But when she told her stuff that she was getting cheated on back in the day, I ain't gonna
Okay.
lie. I had to laugh. I had to laugh
You
because
got to slide that in there though.
so I think the one thing that we missed in that episode was that was a big situation with expectations. You saw how her past self kept asking her, did we do this? Did we do
Yeah.
that? Did we do because she had the expectations that
They
this
were
was
high.
what it and they were high. They was like, you finna be a lawyer, like Issa as a lawyer.
Fight it.
You know what I mean? People be killing her because she done lost so many cases. Like, come on, it wouldn't do it. But she had expectations, and we do that to ourselves. We have expectations, and then when reality sets in, it hits us so much harder
Mhm.
because it's like, okay, where I would have said, I want to do this, like right now. I remember what the thought process is saying. I want to start a show. I want to do a show. I want to make it about my community and also reach throughout other communities to bring everything together. Like I had this mindset and thinking it out. When you thinking it, it's weird because reality is there, but it's more imagination because it's a mental thought.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
then when you start working at it, you like, bro, the more you work, the more reality set in.
Hmm.
And then you're like, you know what? Putting this up, getting this up every week, it's a job. Creating the website, it's a job. Paying for the trademarks and
Equipment.
stuff, it's a job. It's all hard work. The fantasy is there, and you enjoy the ride, but I can't lie and say the expectations didn't over like they was under the bar when it came to the realities. The realities of it was like, oh, this is gonna be amazing, da, da, da. And the expectations like
True.
I don't, the expectations was we would be here by now, and it's like no, the reality is it takes you time to build this up. This is not something that happens overnight. So it's a lot of situations that you do with it.
It's supposed to humble you, I feel.
It
Like
does.
when you verse your expectations with reality, it makes you realize I'm really putting a whole lot on this. Like you really
Mm-hmm.
put a whole lot on it. And then when you look at what actually happened, you be like, the world, like
The
this
way it
played out
didn't play out,
nothing.
I'm about to say it didn't play out the
It
way
didn't play
nothing
out.
happened the way it was
Nothing like
supposed
how
to.
I expected.
You went the
So,
other way. You supposed to go east. You went west.
okay. But then a lot of times you still get the task done. So you just be like, okay, maybe I should, not lower my standards, but lower the pressure that you put on certain things. Create a plan and execute your plan, but don't psych yourself to the point where you start stressing out and then start messing with your mental health and all kinds of other aspects of your life. Like, cause those expectations, baby, people jump off bridges because of
Mhm.
expectations.
They can't
And
meet
like,
them,
yeah,
especially with sports and stuff. Like
okay, that
and,
stuff
and
get to
and
them.
competitive sports. Like they be like, oh my god, I'm supposed to run 1,000 laps. That's the expectation of coach or half of
Hmm.
myself. And if you don't reach those expectations, you be like, God dang. But admitting the truth is, I'm human. I can only do so much.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. And that's your reality. You do what you
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
can.
truth and reality combined.
And I think like it's key moments in even watching within the series of seeing those moments like Lawrence letting go of Woo Woo.
What?
Molly moving. No,
The
Woo
app.
Woo.
Lawrence letting
The
go
app.
of who?
Woo Woo.
The woo woo app.
There.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or
Oh,
even Molly moving from the white firm to the black firm.
True.
You had Issa walk out of We Got Y'all and then start lifting and then goes into creating her own business by just a moment of wanting to do a block party.
True.
Um, it
what came
went,
out looking like
and one, I'm gonna say one of the expectations that everybody had versus the reality that I think went over everybody head was Kelly. Because we laughed so much at the crazy stuff that Kelly did, we never acknowledged that Kelly was hella successful.
Yeah.
Kelly, you never heard Kelly screaming about money. Kelly was a successful CPA. She did everybody taxes on the show. Kelly was actually a smart like woman, but
Yeah.
she just came off as saying crazy dumb stuff. And I think we see that in episode one when it is like I remember her for a stanky leg or that she was allergic to kale or it was stupid stuff.
Yeah, but
And it was like, that's why when she said it, I was like, we as viewers had the expectation that she's just this wild, crazy person. When in reality, no, I got a business sense. I'm a grown woman, and I hate that they never let us fully see Kelly in her habitat. Because you think about it, we've seen everybody place to live in, but Kelly.
true. They probably
We
gonna do
just,
that this season.
with all
yeah,
this
because we
stuff.
saw her sitting on her bed this season in her house, and it's like, oh, come on, bring it.
Right. We finally get to see something.
We finally get to see, and not only that, but you got to think about it also. They do a show every season outside of the show. It's all like they always had this side show that everybody's keeping up with.
Yeah, I want to know what it's gonna be.
It's Kelly. Kelly
Oh,
has the podcast, like, and
oh yeah,
listening.
she do the
Yeah, so I think
podcast.
that's going to help out with the series of her. I think they're going to do it with her doing a podcast, so which
Yeah.
is great because we're on a podcast show. You know,
Focus on her feelings and her true self.
Hmm.
So, and we talked about it last night. I'm just like a Kelly. I'm so silly all the time, and people don't take me serious. And then when they don't take me serious, I get upset about it, like she did.
Right.
But it's just who I am. So I feel like, I mean, she still be her true, authentic self. But you do gotta admit the truth that you are silly. So that's how people take you.
True.
But it's okay because I'm gonna continue being
I
silly.
mean, you just gotta find the balance. Like it's
I
hard
was
to
about to
break.
say that, yeah.
It's hard to condition people to your change or who you are or whatever, especially when they so used to whatever. So it's hard to condition, but I mean the people that matter,
preach.
they gon' rock with it.
Right. Because like when I try to be serious, people like, oh,
And
you
to be
serious.
honest, sometimes even
I'm
in
like,
those
I ain't
moments, they
sick.
won't see it. They won't see it in those moments. I could say like even some making changes. It was moments where I started to tell people, you're gonna have to change your expectations because what you expected ain't the reality of me
Yeah.
anymore. And I was like, it's frustrating to keep being under those expectations. So then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let these realities override these expectations. And when you keep getting these doses of reality of who I am, then those expectations that go out the window. But I'm not gonna keep solidifying the reality for you. Like I'm not gonna keep doing that.
True.
If you can't admit the truth to yourself that this because sometimes individuals change and we don't want to acknowledge the change because it's hard for us to say that we're not in the same category anymore.
Yeah.
So we don't want to admit the change. And I'm like, nope. At the end of the day, do what you do.
Like Cassie said, something. Like, I don't know why it is for people all colors to admit the truth. Like they'll sit right there. People sit up there and ride out with a whole lie for years,
Hmm.
or make up shit for years
Yeah.
instead of just admitting the truth.
Hmm.
And I never understood why it's so hard. Like, God dang on.
Because people get comfortable in a lie. It's easy to get comfortable. You can get comfortable in the truth or you can get comfortable in a lie. Whichever one is popular opinion for you, you're gonna get comfortable there. So
But
people
sometimes,
rock
well,
with it.
either living
Lies.
a lie, like, good God.
I mean, it depends on what type of level they vibrating on. If you
Cheers to the
vibrate, you
BS.
lie, then that's what you gonna rock with. If you vibrating with the truth, then hey, that's where you live. So it's based on the individual. Like if you choose to
True.
break out of that foolishness, then hey, you gonna snap out of it.
I,
But
I,
that's a learning.
so
That's a journey.
and so last night, me and Queen, we were like having a conversation. It started before we got on, but we did do something through the middle of it of recording that like we're gonna do. We did it on the last episode, and we're gonna do it on this episode, which is just continue to drop questions, not just for us, but for you guys that are listening to go to our page and hey, put your answers and get in because it helps us out. So I was dropping some good questions, wasn't it, last night?
Hmm.
So first question of this one is: in what moment in your life did the expectations override the realities of your situation? That's gonna be question number one. Like, in what moment did the expectations override the realities of a situation? A lot of times we're gonna say relationships because that's the truth. But like, in what and then in what way did you admit the truth to yourself in a way that was able to eradicate you from those expectations?
Mm, I like them too.
True. But after you
So
saying all that, sometimes some people don't even know what their expectations are to even admit the truth.
yeah,
Okay. They just going through
right.
life.
So Queen, I got one for you.
Oh, why?
In what moment did admitting the truth to yourself made you find freedom of everyone else's expectations?
Um, shit. Say that again. I got ADHD.
And what in what moment of admitting the truth made you feel eradicated from everyone else's expectations?
Oh, what I just said. At first, long time ago, I was trying to always be serious or be somebody I'm not.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I just let go and just be myself, be silly, just be who I am, and versus what everybody expected me to be. Oh, as far as with my family too, everybody thought I was supposed to be, up under their wing and stuff like that. So just breaking away, being me, having my own. Sometimes having my own mind. Well, I do have my own mind. Just I don't know. See, I be getting lost in what I'm trying to say. But just when I don't know. I don't know. I forgot.
You was
Well,
doing good.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
I
You
was
just
because I don't want to say
you
the wrong
shut down.
thing.
Gotcha. Well, you know what? I asked Queen a question then. You ready, Queen?
You mean eyes?
I mean, sorry, eyes. My bad. Eyes, you ready?
I was
Yeah,
doing
go
real
ahead.
good, but I didn't want to say the wrong thing. Come back, like
I'm
Jimmy.
gonna bring it back. Okay, eyes. Now this one, you listen for it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. In what moment did the reality make admitting the truth not worth it? That's a good one, ain't it?
Reality makes
In
it
what
worth
moment did the reality of a situation make admitting the truth not worth it?
it. I would say
Y'all, we giving her space to kind of go ahead and dip in this.
like
Yeah,
That
because I
was a
was
good.
all over
You
the
got to
I
admit
place.
mean,
that
it's
was
a
a
good
good
question, but
question.
I'm
That
trying to
was
figure out like
It
what
was
situation
good.
did
I'm
I
like,
go through?
don't choke up like I did, because I was all up. My brain was going
Let me
8 different
see.
directions.
I would say like admitting the truth about a situation, it wasn't worth it pretty
I
much.
said. So, in what moment of and when the reality of the situation made you feel that admitting the truth wasn't worth it? Like, and basically, in what happened
I
that
got it. I
you
got
got
it.
it? Okay, all right, go
I
ahead,
would
go ahead.
say when I moved to Mississippi, I literally moved to Mississippi on like a whim pretty much. And I struggled a lot. But admitting that wasn't going to change the situation that I needed to be there. Like I really, truly, truly needed that struggle. Like it literally helped me realize my strength. So it was like, okay, you gonna go back, tell your family, you down bad, or you gonna really toughen it out and rock out with it. You strong enough to do it. So it was like, okay, I had the, the voices and the people around me telling me, nah, you need to just come back. Ain't no need for you struggling. Ain't no need, like blah blah blah. But I'm not gonna admit to that, even though I knew it was real. But I'm not gonna admit to that because I felt like, me personally, I needed to be there. It was something in me that was just like, nah, you need this lesson. You can't just skip out on the lesson. So I would say, yeah, it was me actually struggling for a reason, I would say, that made me realize, yeah, I ain't no need
Mhm.
telling the truth on it. I told it to myself,
Yeah.
I would say, but I wasn't gonna tell y'all that. Shoot, I
Hey,
hold it down, baby.
I think we're gonna share that one. So, hey,
I
everybody,
knew
after you
that.
listen to this episode, go to the page, whether you send us a note on the website, Instagram, or Facebook, and put that out there for yourself. What moment in the reality of a situation made admitting the truth not worth it? That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good rock. I like that. And now I got to throw Queen another question because she
No, I
didn't.
want to go back because you like pretty much me being the only child. Everybody had the expectation of me being spoiled, being up under my parents, being up under my auntie. So me stepping out, moving out, never coming back home, handling it. Like Cassie said, trying my best not to ask for no money, working 3 jobs. You know what I'm saying? Doing things on my own. That was my moment to step out of their expectations and make it a reality for myself. Look, you're gonna grow up, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and admitting the truth to myself that you're not there. I mean, I'm still a little girl, but getting out of the shell that I was in, if that makes sense.
All right, I'm gonna tackle Eyes question, and now this is gonna be it's gonna be a deep one. I'm not gonna even lie. Um, the moment the reality of a situation made me, feel that admitting the truth wasn't worth it. My sexuality. I would say I loved who I loved, and it was. I don't think it was a point of it. I admitted the truth to self, but it wasn't a point of admitting the truth to everybody else in that moment. I think it was finding the level of confidence within me to love me, and once I loved me and was okay, then it was kind of like I don't give two flying, about what anybody else think or feel, and I used to sit in my mindset and think that I had my expectations of my life. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I had expectations of my life when I was younger. Y'all excuse me for getting this deep because I don't like getting this deep on, just I'm gonna be hella transparent. I saw the wife and kids. I always saw the wife and kids growing up, this and that. I didn't think at the age of 33 I would have a husband. It was not in my mindset. Growing, coming up as a kid, going into it. I think once I able to override the expectation, I think the expectations is what kind of made it harder to accept self, so to speak. Because it was like, oh, your expectations have wife, da da da, and I couldn't acknowledge, hey, you bisexual, you know what I mean, and you like what you like, and I was looking for the wife, but I ran across this lovely individual who sometimes pushed me harder than I wanted to be pushed, and sometimes did things that I felt in the moment made me unhappy, but it was grooming me all at the same time. And now when I sit and I look at that individual, I see like peace in the world when I'm with that individual. And the reality of the situation is I don't want to live without that individual, although he was not the expectation. And so it's like, and I didn't have to. I think admitting the truth went out the window for me when it was like sometimes you don't have to admit the truth, you just have to live in the truth.
Yeah.
So that's my piece to that question. I off that in. Let me take a sip after
Okay.
that.
Sip, sip, sip. Sip, sip.
Right, ADTM. He know what those initials are. Um, but no, real talk. Going back to the episode of Insecure, I would say I remember me and Eyes having hella conversations on Sundays about Insecure episodes. And what do we always it was always our expectations of what should have been versus the reality of the situation. And I ain't gonna lie, we both kind of didn't like Condola. But
Okay.
I think this season
It
nobody
wasn't
likes
her fault
Condola.
though. It wasn't.
Nobody likes Condola.
It's not
She
her
came.
fault
She
though.
came out of nowhere.
I can say this as a
I was like,
woman.
call that girl from Empire and push her ass down the stairs. Like, come on.
As a woman, it's not that lady fault.
It's not. It's not. But I can say coming into the series, seeing her dynamic, that's what I didn't like her because it didn't have nothing to do with her and Lawrence or whatever. But it was a lot of. I think the Molly controversy did a lot of people in because we never expected to see her and Molly fall apart. It was
Yeah.
and they were the basis of the entire show. You know what I mean? Like it was Issa and Molly. Like half of us wanted to have a friendship like Issa and Molly.
Right.
And you see that crumble, which lets you know that sometimes your expectations of longevity or y'all fitting together in every season of life may not be
Oh, I
the
know.
reality of the situation.
Hmm.
Like me and Queen, me and Queen known each other for a minute, and me and Eyes have known each other for a minute. But it was moments in both friendships that we took breaks, and we wasn't in each other's lives for a moment, and it didn't make us any less than if we were. We always called each other family regardless of the situation, but it was just in those moments we were not meant to be in the same chapter, and admitting that truth was hard. It was like, because especially when it came to Eyes, I told Eyes like everything. When I say everything, everything. And and it was like, so I remember we went a year without interacting with each other and talking to each other, and it was like my Molly is over here, and it's like I don't know how to deal with it. And you remember we had the conversation. I said I had to cut you out completely to get past it. I was like, because
Yeah.
I had to mentally tell myself she was no longer an option
Yeah.
to not miss her as much because it hurted to miss her. And
Yeah.
I was like, I had to do that. And I remember even when me and Queen was, spaced out, and I was like, I love her. That's my sister. That's my homegirl. Like, you know what I mean? Like we clicked before we even saw each other.
Hmm.
It was family, And to this day, I will somebody for her. That's my sister all the way down. I always be super proud and I will be you guys' number one fan. I'm not saying this to be sentimental on the episode, but just real stuff, But you have the expectations that there were never going to be breaks and there was never going to be distances, and the reality of the situation where we all were changing into different individuals.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And
I talked about her move. I missed her.
yeah,
I just had to. I bumped it.
because
Nah.
it'd be like that. And I remember when Eyes got into doing music, and at the first beginning part, we were doing it together. Remember, we was writing songs
Yeah.
together and doing everything. And I remember thinking in my mind at one point, I said, I need to space out because I want her to be an artist
Oh
in her
Lord.
own right. And I was like, let me step off and let her do it. And in that moment of stepping off and letting her create music, I found dance.
Right.
And it could have been a possibility that if we had to say the mesh, neither one of us would have had that solo ship that we had. And I've been, I've showed up to her performances. She showed up to my performances. I'm bumping her music before it's even on on the platforms, and she's, sharing my videos and stuff of dancing. And now we live in another section of our lives as a trio, um, where I get to watch Queen nurture herself into a business owner, and that's beautiful because the expectation is I always saw it, I always knew it was there, and now I get to see the reality of it. So not all expectations are bad. You know what I mean? You have some great positive expectation, but with the realities is always the hardest part to accept. It's always the
Yeah,
hardest part to accept.
and that's what I'm dealing with now. So, but I'm gonna get over it.
Yeah. The expectation was hard. So I'm gonna drop another question because I love questions. I'm gonna drop one last question before we, take our turn out. We're coming down to the end of the year. We're in October, end of October, going into November. What was the expectation that you started out with at the beginning of the year, and then the reality set in that maybe that wasn't for this chapter?
Hmm.
Oh gosh.
That's a hard one, ain't it?
Yeah, I really don't. I don't even know.
Oh
To be quite
gosh.
I don't
Oh
know.
gosh, I have a lot, but let me see, which one do I want to talk about? Um I would say I expected this year to be, I would say I expected this year as far as like I really wanted. I think I said at the end of last year because I don't make resolutions. I don't do
Yeah,
those.
me either.
So I did say last year that this year I wanted to get me a house or whatever. And, you know, I was planning, I was doing the work as far as like, getting stuff prepared for getting a home or what have you. And, you know, I started to look at, like, I don't know, like you will start feeling a certain vibe. Not necessarily to say that that vibe is like, your your doubt stepping in,
Yeah,
but really of analyzing, you know, if you're mentally ready for certain things. And I had,
intuition.
yeah. So I had to step out of, I'm like, yeah, let's go. I want to get it. And really step into like, okay, girl, I don't think you quite there yet. Like, I don't think you quite ready to take that step. Like, you may have gotten your credit where you need to be, but is your finances really where it need to be?
Yeah.
Like, you could literally have a good credit score but still
I
be
ain't gonna
broke.
lie, I was watching you through this year, and you was
I
throwing it out
mean,
there, and I was like, "What kind of chick
it
they
ain't as
cutting over there? What kind of
it's
chick they
not as
getting? I
hard
need
as
to
you
go."
think.
Like, you
No,
could
because it's
literally have your credit score right and be broke.
it's
And
funny
Yes,
no,
that you
that is
say
baby.
true.
that. To be quite honest, you're
That's
paying
the
more.
expectation. Get my credit
No, no,
right.
no,
I
no,
had
no,
some
no,
money,
no.
right?
Thank you.
You
No,
paying
you
more.
don't.
No, you do though, but you paying more in rent than you would a house.
I am.
Yeah.
However,
It's not
with
easy walking into a house. It's
it
really not.
wasn't it
Like
did my
people make it
But
finances
you
sound
would
like
need
yo,
a big savings account. I would say that.
yeah,
yes.
and my finances weren't where they need to be. My credit was good
They be
because
like, how much in your
I done
savings?
spent
Five
all my
dollars. Can I
money
get a
into
house?
getting my credit right. But I'm broke. So
$5. I got $5 in my savings. Can I get a house?
heck no. You can get out.
Yeah.
You can do that.
So
But
Mm.
yeah, like I mean, we put those expectations, which is good. It's good to create goals or
yeah,
whatever. And because I got my credit right. That's a
yeah.
great thing. Like I literally
I
didn't
did it
take
too.
credit serious, but I got my credit. Like I put my mind to something and got it right.
I
So
ain't gonna lie.
I
Watching
know
you
I'm
do it,
capable.
it was motivating. Like it made me get on mine. I was like, man, she over here just paying this off, doing it. And I was like, you know what? Let me get it. And I got in, I did it, and I'm talking about, bruh. I ain't gonna sit here and lie with my business. I got a multitude of credit cards. But I don't owe on nothing. Like and
Okay.
that's the good feeling, like to be like, okay, I got mine, but I ain't, trust me, daddy is not struggling over here. Like so it's good in the moment to that sometimes the expectation doesn't come out because sometimes our reality is far down the road than what we think it is, and we like, I'm gonna do this, and this is the expectation, and it's like, no, no, sir, this
Right.
is not
True.
no. So
But yeah, I mean, it's always good things that come out of those goals. It may not
Yeah.
be what you think it's going to be, but when you're actually putting your mind towards something that is positive and something that's going to benefit you, it's always good things that come out of it.
Right.
It may not be the actual big, huge goal that you have, but you're going to get somewhere.
Okay,
So,
cool. Okay, Queen, let me give you one then, since that wasn't your question. What reality set in for you this year that you didn't see coming but am completely okay with happening?
Um, you said this
So
last year.
yeah,
This
what reality this year has happened, has come into pass, and you're okay with it. You didn't see it coming. It's not something you wanted, but it's like, oh, it's cool.
well, I seen it coming, but being a stepmother,
Okay.
but I knew it was
Okay.
coming. But it's a lot to it, more than what I thought it would be. Put it that way.
Yeah.
So
You enjoy it?
sometimes,
Admitting the truth. That's what it
okay.
is. Admitting the truth.
I'm pretty sure most parents feel the same way.
yeah,
Admitting the truth. Be like, I like them today, hate them tomorrow.
Okay.
But when tax season come, they my babies.
And I'm
right.
going to stand by their side.
That's mine. That's mine. And I'm somebody's side.
I'm gonna stand beside them.
Okay.
I'm somebody's
And I
side.
wasn't ready for the world, but it's tough.
Got you.
Like this
I'm
morning, I had to get up at 5:30 because June was still at work, and I had to take him to school. I wanted to go back to sleep.
they go to work.
Yeah, now I got to just come back home and get ready to go to work. So stuff like that. So yeah.
Got you. Okay. Any questions for me before we head out? None. Okay. Uh,
You need to take that question in. We all done took it. You take it.
how what? I gave different questions. so which question?
Let's see.
Well, you already answered about moving to Charlotte. You already answered the question. Well, what about your job? What's your expectations for your new job versus the reality since you're there?
True.
So to be honest, I didn't have expectations. I didn't want to taint my image of what I was walking into, and I think I learned like over the period of time, like recently within this year, and me and Oz really just had this conversation, and it's like I don't set expectations anymore. I kind of allow myself to sense the reality of the situation. I feel like when I set expectations, I kept letting myself down, or I kept feeling like I was let down, and so then it was as a person that suffers with mental health, I can't afford blows like that. So now I just let the situation come in what it is. So when people's like, "You're excited," Tom was walking around here excited a week before I was, and he's like, "It's your first day," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to work." Like I was like, "I'm not." It's not that I'm not excited, but I'm not finna. I feel like when you get overly excited in situations, those expectations are up all the way up here, and it's like the reality may be down here for the start off. Sometimes the reality of starting something off is not as beautiful as the expectation. Um, I can say if I had to talk about a job, the Melanin Playbook was a job, and I can remember the night I created the name, and I got up that morning feeling like it was all amazing, and my expectations was this is going to be a ball rolling. And the reality was no, sir. Like I remember checking websites, taking classes, asking people how to get business stuff going, feeling like it was the first time in my life I felt like I wasn't in control of the full situation. And everybody know I'm used to being in control. So it humbled me enough to have to say some stuff is not going to be in your control. Some stuff is going to be you allowing the ball to roll without you pushing it,
Mhm.
basically. And it has helped me grow in so many ways because now I can take things as they come along and I can smile even when the world is burning. I can just be like, hey, yeah, that tree on fire over there. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
time to smile.
You just learn. You just
I'm gonna go to
learn.
work. It's
I know that oh so well,
You
baby.
just learn. But on this exit out, um, expectations versus reality. So we're gonna set our expectations for the season. So Cassie, what do you expect to see this season of Insecure?
I expect since this is the last season, I expect loose ends to be tied, especially when it comes to my boo Nathan. I feel like she should, figure that out or whatever. Come back, have a seat. Um, I expect I don't want it to be a fantasy when it comes to Issa and Molly connecting back as they used to be. I don't want it to be I want it to be authentic and raw, but I don't want it to be like, okay, they're back together this little fantasy world. I don't want it like that. I want it to be natural and real like the whole show has been.
Gotcha.
Um I expect, of course I already see that we're gonna dig deeper into Kelly life, but I don't know. I'm excited to see it, but then I'm kind of like, I think it's gonna kind of taint the way we see her, kind of.
I know that's what I'm scared of too, but
So I don't want it because this is the last season.
I'm like,
So
bring me back
we
to
ain't gonna
Kelly
get
to
no other
Pete
chance
herself.
to get it right. So you know, I want
I'm
to
from
see.
Pippicock. It's on South Central London,
I
just
want to
across
see
this
my
road from
boo
Pinty Hill.
Daniel. Like I want to see him this
Yeah,
season. So, I'm excited about it or what have you. I'm excited the way she going with it. And I hope,
yeah,
because I mean, the first episode did have a lot to unpack.
yeah.
So,
Queen,
yeah.
Queen. It's
um,
Queen in the house. I said it's Queen in the house. Watch your mouth. All right, go ahead.
but pretty much, I just want to see some good shows, some good episodes. That's pretty much it. When I watch Insecure, I take it for what it is at that moment because I can't go back. My brain don't allow me to go back and remember some of the episodes. So I be trying to catch up, pretty much. As the show, I be like, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, yeah. But I want to see her and Lawrence. I want to see what's gonna happen between her and Lawrence.
Gotcha. Okay, my expectations is I want to see Daniel. I want to
What
see
is?
Daniel.
Let me call Daniel. What?
Call
Um,
him, please.
call him, please. You
Tell him I
got the
said what's
number.
happening.
Right. Tell him to bring his behind on here. I
Okay.
want to see
Not you on the
Daniel.
phone with him.
Right. And make sure that arch is
Hello.
fine. I want to I want to see her and Lawrence really talk about the Condola situation and not it be just surface like they dropped it. Um I don't expect to see Dro. I don't even want to see Dro. Leave Dro out. Don't even bring him back for
Where
no
his
reason
wife
at
at?
all.
I do want to see because
That's
I
what
want
I'm
to see
talking
if
about,
that wife
Dro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
that's what I want to see.
I want to see if that wife really is in an open relationship because this we just got the words from him.
she's in an open divorce.
But what happened?
We didn't get it from her.
Right. Why did him and Molly? That's what. Why did him and Molly stop talking? Because she was chasing
Because
him.
Molly broke it off, and then Candace was pregnant, and it was just a whole bunch of stuff. But I hope to see all the good stuff from Issa this season. I'm not gonna really put a lot of expectations out because I know she always wow me with it. And if not, baby, we done dedicated 2 episodes to you. Please do not screw us over. So
Right.
so with that being said, y'all, it's been a fun time sitting here talking with you guys, vibing with both
It's
Queen
been a
and
long
Eyes.
hour.
And you get to see a little bit more of an intimate section of our relationship with each other. So I hope you guys enjoyed that insight. And we love you. We love you. We love you. We love you. We
Yeah.
love you. Can't say it enough. We love you so much. And that's everybody. It's not just our melanin individuals, but the love extends across the world. The Melanin Playbook loves everybody. So
Okay.
if you check in and tune
All
in.
shades and shapes and sizes.
Right. Like what you
Yes.
say, like, subscribe, and
Comment.
Share and comment.
yes. Yes, do it all. So make sure you follow us on this. Expectations versus reality and then the truth. Episode 10 will be posted up on Thursday. So make sure you check us out. And we will be doing another Insecure Live for you guys because Eyes was out of the building. So we're gonna bring it in. And you know what? We might. do it pre-episode on Sunday so we can get our expectations and then you can kind of see the realities of what happens.
Okay.
So be following us on there because we're gonna be talking about insecure a lot in the group. So make sure you are tuning into it, and you'll see us on Instagram and everything going live. So make sure you see that too. The Melanin Playbook has a new look thanks to me and Eyes who helped pick out the design. So make sure you go check in on there, and I hope you guys enjoy our new logo. And also, Queen is gonna have something to surprise you guys with on the website soon.
Hey.
So it may not ride, it may not be a car, but I can definitely tell you it smells good and it's in a jar. So make sure you tune in
Yes.
to see what she drops out. With that being said, we love you guys. We're going to say bye. You have a good night.
Love and lights, baby.
Be out
Love.
there.